Okay, and there are no additions to the agenda. Liaison reports. Dwight is not here. David, would you please give us your Board of Selectmen brief report? Okay.
All right. Okay. So the Country Club of Woodbridge Clubhouse was deemed unsafe because of vandalism, and the building was not secured. It has been secured, lighting has been installed, and police patrols have increased. The Massaro Farm has been running a hunger relief program, providing free meals during the summer. Food donations for this year have totaled 6,000 pounds. And production in greenhouses are continuing into the winter months. Egg production has also been added. 100 dozen eggs have been donated, and the farm is seeking new board members. SCROG has committed to address the sustainability issues, including waste management and renewable energy, composting of food scraps, and electrification of municipal fleets. And the board authorized the Amity Woodbridge Historical Society to apply for an Historic Recreation Fund grant from the Connecticut Historical Preservation Office. But they will not provide matching funds until next fiscal year because they have to be voted on at a town meeting. And that's stuff that's remotely related to you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for David?
Susan, can I interrupt?
Yes.
Jen's here, so I just want to check her audio, so when she wants to make motions, and I know she does, that we can hear her. Jen, you want to unmute so we can hear you?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Jen.
Hello.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great to hear your voice. Okay. Are there any questions for David? If not, thank you very much, David, for your report. Next item is minutes of the November 1st meeting. Janet and John were not present, so both of you will not be voting on that, on the minutes. Has everybody had an opportunity to look at them?
Yep.
Okay, if there are no corrections, are there any corrections? If none, okay, I need a motion to accept. Okay, Pat, and a second.
I second.
Kathy, okay. I'm going to do a roll call vote because that's the way we have to do it. Jen? Okay. Arnie?
Yes.
Viviana?
Yes.
Pat?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
And myself. Okay. So Janet abstained and you got, Viviana, the people who are missing, right? Okay.
Just Janet is abstained, correct?
Yes, Janet abstained.
Yep.
John was not there either, but he's not here tonight. So, okay. All right.
Correct.
Next item, the operating budget. Jeanette, would you please inform us about the operating budget?
Susan,
Yes.
does it matter that the TV station is on mute?
No, that just
Okay.
means that we can't hear them. They can
Fine.
hear us.
Okay.
Good question, Pat.
And we are very, very happy to have them because they're quadruple booked tonight. And so we're very grateful that they could come. So I didn't have to do it and then try and find the video later. Okay, so I sent you guys the guidelines for the operating budget. The thing to, Lauren's here. Hold on one second.
Okay.
The thing to note, hi, Lauren. The thing to note on it would be there's an italics section where they're asking us for one extra part that they haven't asked us for in the past. And that is the concept of if we have increases in our budget, to try and find places where we can decrease the budget to offer up, should they decide to level fund everyone's budget, to offer up places where we could be cut. Difficult task in a year that the union negotiated a 2.4% increase for wages across the board. So there's a significant increase in the budget just from wages alone. And we have an increase, significant increase from QVHD to our budget. I think you'll remember, I did not send out the budget because it's not put together enough for you guys to make hay out of it, but it will be ready for you soon. QVHD is in our budget at just under $60,000 per year, and that's a per capita fee. It was $645 per capita. They've asked for another 25 cents per capita. We are the budget where QVHD sits. We are not, QVHD does more than provide human services for the town. So what they do is they inspect kitchens, they do water lines. There's so much more on the building department end that they do. They'll check wells, they'll do all of that work. And they provide some services through Human Services Department. So when that budget goes up, it is within our budget. I have asked Tony Genovese if, that almost $2,000 needs to be offset by cuts to our programming when the raise is, it's contingent, it's for everyone in the town. It's not just for clients of Human Services. It's kind of like the fire department's budget holds the communication system, but the police and public works and AMR all have parts in that. And so it just sits in one budget, but other departments make use of it. So I've asked him, he said, and I quote, "Good question." So we'll find out if that's the case. The staff is looking really hard at the budget to find ways to offset. It's not 100% that we have to make these cuts, but we are really looking at every nook and cranny. I can tell you one piece of good news is you guys passed the RAF, the Resident Assistance Fund, and there's a line item in our budget called Social Services, and that budget item it's just $500. That provides relief should a family have an extreme emergency. We're able to put them in a hotel, get them some clothes, help them out. They've had a major fire or some sort of disaster. Now that the Food and Fuel Fund is the Resident Assistance Fund and can do that work, we don't need this second fund, this $500 to be funded every year to provide that relief. We can use the Food and Fuel Fund. So found $500, which is great. But we're doing the deep dive. We're looking for places where we can save some money. We're trying to offset any of our spending with a little added revenue as well. So I'm sure Christy's going to talk to you a little bit about a couple other things. It's a shame to have to say we're going to cut services for seniors, especially in these times. But we have to be able to offer the Board of Selectmen and Board of Finance some options. We really don't want, a cut in something that we can't control. So we're looking for these things. We're doing the deep dive. I'm meeting with Susan and Pat on the 14th. I'm asking for a special meeting to approve the budget. I'd like you guys to vote on this request. I am unavailable for the January 4th commission meeting. It is actually due January 4th to Board of Finance, to the Finance Department. So I'm looking for a special meeting, January 20th. It's a Monday in a couple of weeks.
December 20th, December 20th.
I'm sorry, December 20th, excuse me. I misspoke. And we would get together for a half an hour and go over, you'd get the budget in advance. We'd answer questions, we'd make any kind of adjustments we all think are appropriate. And we'd be able to approve the budget at a special meeting, January 20th. Dwight has said he probably could make that. Did I say January again?
Yes, December.
December 20th. I'm sorry. Anyway, so if we could just poll the audience, see who would be available on a Monday, December 20th, and see if you guys can come back. We can adjust the time accordingly. If somebody, can't make 7 o'clock, we could figure out if 6:30 works. It's a special meeting. We can, basically put it when we want and we'll notice it. How does that work for everyone?
Sounds good.
Works
Okay,
for me.
Janet's in, Arnie?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, everybody can do a January 20th.
December 20th.
December.
December,
20th.
December
Just
20th.
stop me from talking. Jen, are you? I really don't want to make a motion on this if it doesn't work for people. I really want to be inclusive. Are you back, Pat?
No, but I'll call in from wherever I am.
You will? You'll be able to do that?
Yeah.
All right, and you'll be more familiar with the budget than most because we're going to go over it. All right, so I'll turn it back over to you, Susan. Are there questions?
Well, did we get a sense that everyone would be able to come on December 20th?
I did.
Have we set a time?
No, but you can do that in the motion or you can discuss it amongst yourselves. I can't even get the date straight, so.
Lauren, are you muted or not?
Yeah.
Are you muted?
Me, I can come.
Oh, good. Okay. Cool. Let's just say who can't come on December 20th?
Well,
Time to
Pat.
be determined.
Pat, but
Pat
he's
said he
gonna
would,
call
Pat said
in.
he would call in. It looks like it could be a go.
Okay.
Could be a go. All right. We'll need them.
And do we want to do 7 o'clock or 6:30?
Either one works for me.
Viviana, since you asked about the time, is there a time that you prefer?
Either one is fine. 6:30 or 7 is fine.
Jen, when do you feed the kids?
They're eating now, so either time works.
All right, well, I'll leave it up to whoever makes the motion to decide.
Okay. Who would like to make the motion?
I'll make a motion that the members agree to hold a special meeting on December 20th, 2021 at 7 p.m.
Do we need to
Second.
say why we're meeting, Jeanette? Jeanette, does the motion need to say that we're meeting for budget or not? No, just a special meeting.
Special meeting to discuss the budget, yeah.
Okay,
Fine.
to discuss the budget. I'll add that.
Sure. I don't plan to add anything else to the agenda. I plan to keep this a brief meeting. You are all going to be meeting, within 2 weeks to discuss things in January. I think anything we have will probably hold on till that meeting. So I plan to make this a brief meeting.
So then we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Okay. All right, we'll have a roll call vote. Janet,
Agree.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Arnie,
Yes.
Viviana,
Yes.
Pat,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and myself, yes. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
8-0. Okay.
Christy, would you please give us the Woodbridge Center report?
Sure.
But we need a motion do we need a motion to accept your report, Jeanette? Or the operating budget report? We don't really do that, do we? No.
No.
Okay, fine.
We'll do
So,
that on the 20th.
yeah, exactly. I mean, just a tiny point of information there. Okay. The Woodbridge Center, Christy, please.
Sure.
Give us your report.
On November 24th, Woodbridge entered into the red zone for the COVID positivity rate after being in the yellow and the gray zone for several weeks. So unfortunately, cards playing and mahjong were suspended once again. But despite the positivity rate increasing towards the end of the month, we still had a very busy month at the center in November. The beginner bridge class started on November 3rd, and everyone that came to that was really enjoying it. They were able to get 3 weeks of the 5-week session in before it was suspended due to the positivity rate going up. On November 5th, we had the second virtual art tour, led again by Yale student Julie Averbach. This time the tour was on the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and everyone once again thoroughly enjoyed it. We had a lot of positive feedback, and Julie left everyone wanting more. Everyone asked if she would continue to do some sort of the tour again after she's done with her schooling. Painting for Pleasure began on November 8th with local art instructor Carol Abate leading the class this time. And the class is going really well and everyone is pleased with the new instructor. On November 12th, the African Cultural Immersion Program took place. We had 18 people signed up to attend. Unfortunately, on that day, it was a very stormy day and there was a lot of rain and wind. And so only 6 people were able to attend. But those that came found the program very interesting. And then the Thanksgiving drive-through was on November 18th. It was sponsored by the Linden, Coachman Square, the Willows, and the Woodbridge Police Union. Lassie's provided the delicious feast, and a lot of people called and emailed to express their appreciation and to say how good the food was and how much there was of it. One client in particular, one of our regulars, called and he was sharing his appreciation and saying how delicious the food was and how much there was. And he said that it was some of the best food he's had in his entire life. And then he continued to say that his daughter and her friend of 50 years had been cooking and preparing for Thanksgiving all week, and they would be hard pressed to surpass the food that he received at the drive-thru. So that was very positive. On November 23rd, Michelle Riley from Hampton Rehabilitation and Healthcare Center led a Thanksgiving centerpiece workshop. And this was a lot of fun for everyone who came. Everyone's centerpieces looked different, but all of them were equally beautiful. And everyone was pleased with their results and signed up for the next one at that time that Michelle was going to be having. And finally in November, Tech Tuesdays and Thursdays began on November 30th with an Amity student volunteer that Nancy was able to provide, guiding the 2 people who came for tech support. And we have several other people that signed up for additional tech support also in the future. And then coming on December 7th, Michelle Riley, as I mentioned, through Hampton Health and Rehab, will be having another craft. And this time it'll be a snowman craft. And the Rotary Club is sponsoring the holiday drive-through in its entirety very generously on December 16th with Lassie's once again providing the meal. Hopefully we'll have carolers from Amity to greet the cars as they drive through to add to the festiveness. And the Woodbridge Child Center pre-kindergarten class made 18 beautiful ornaments to donate to the Woodbridge Center to the clients. And the craft group was the first group that received some of these ornaments, and they were thrilled at the surprise that the kids did this for them. So it added a little piece of happiness to their day. And then as far as staffing, the kitchen coordinator job is on hold until the COVID positivity rate comes back down and stays low at a low percentage for a prolonged period of time. November 18th was Michael Arcangelo's last day as a transportation driver at the center. The vacant position was posted and we're in the process of interviewing at this time. And the center is unable to provide Thursday transportation at this time due to the vacancy. And lastly, the meal program. As was mentioned last month, at the meeting last month, we feel it's time to reevaluate the price of the delivered meals. After looking further into these costs, we also decided it was necessary to reevaluate the cost of the soup that's an option with the delivered meals, in addition to reevaluating the cost of the meals. The current charge to clients for delivered frozen meals and soup are $5 per meal and $1 per 10-ounce soup. And this service was started at the beginning of the pandemic for three main reasons. One was the lunch program was suspended. The second reason was there was a shortage of groceries. So it was more difficult for our clients to access them. And the third reason was it was potentially it was a health hazard to our clients to go into the grocery stores to do their shopping. So as it continued, we still don't have the in-person lunch program, but it is easier to access groceries at the store. However, we've found that our clients really enjoy the meals for various reasons. They're convenient, they're well balanced, and they're cost effective for them to be able to enjoy a easy meal that's also healthy. And there's various reasons for them utilizing the meal program. So the service will continue after the pandemic ends. We're planning on it continuing. The individual frozen meal, which has an entree, a vegetable, a starch, a roll, a piece of fruit, and a dessert, costs the center $5.25. And a 10-ounce container of soup costs the center $1. So the center is proposing that the individual meals increase in price by 25 cents to $5.25 per meal, and that the soup increases by 50 cents to $1.50. And then the additional revenue from the price increase will be used to offset the cost of providing the meal delivery service overall. So are there any questions?
So Christy, with that additional cost, would it wind up being sort of a net wash, that the additional fees actually pay actual costs of the delivery?
Sure. So it's a good question. So there's other cost, like the cost for staffing. Rose was just brought in on Tuesdays, and then there's other costs as far as gas for the vehicle. We're about at an average of 200 meals a month right now. So if you look at the 200 meals per month and about 100 soups per month, right now we would subsidize $50 for that, just to cover the meals. If we increase the cost of the meals as it would be $50 in addition to what the meals and the soup would be covered at $5.25 and $1, which they charge us. And then we would have an additional $50 per month to go towards the cost of staffing and gas.
So if we were looking for other places that we needed to cut, would we look at increasing the cost of the meal to $5.50 or $2 for soup if you needed to go there? And then my other question is, when the pandemic ends, and I'll be hopeful that maybe we'll see it this coming year, if you open back in service for lunches in-house, would you have enough budget to do both?
So we planned this year. We weren't planning on being not being able to open this year. So we had planned to have in-person lunches also as part of our budget. And we're planning the same for next year. So in the budget, we are planning to have both, to be able to have in-person meals and the meals delivered. As far as increase, and we had discussed before, right before the pandemic happened, increasing the cost of the in-person meals at that time. So we would have a little bit of a rise in the cost when we open it again for in-person meals. As far as increasing it to $5.50, and I think you said $2. Jeanette and I talked at length over the best option, and to increase the meals and still have it be cost effective, and not too much that takes away from the service that's provided. Some people get meals, some would get like 5 or 10 meals so that it's their main meal, so at least they have one meal a day, or for most of the days that are a healthy, cost-effective option. And some of the people that utilize it, they've just been discharged from the hospital, they've been discharged from rehab. It's respite for caregivers. So we didn't want them to feel the impact if they're ordering a lot of meals. But yeah, we wanted to still cover the meals and offset a little bit rather than subsidizing them.
So actually you have obviously felt that it would be a burden for some people to, $5.50 doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it would be a burden, you think?
Well, it's at $5 now. So to go to $5.50, we chose with the soups to go up by 50 cents. Rather than the meals, because the meals are something that's more of a necessity. It's that's a well-balanced meal. The soup, for the most part, is an addition. So yes, to answer your question, I think it wouldn't impact them. It doesn't sound like a lot, but to people who are on a limited income, and they're able to get this convenient meal to heat up, and sometimes that's their main meal that they're having. That's an actual meal with vegetables and a balanced meal.
Okay, so if there are no other questions, we need two motions. Then we need a motion for this, right?
I'm going to add a couple of points here. I want to say a couple of things. One, we really do, if we raise the revenue from this item, and it will raise revenue to have these increases, that offsets our expenditures. That is as good as finding an item to cut. So we don't have to cut the meal program if we raise the revenue a little bit. Revenue is taken into consideration by the Board of Finance. And so if that revenue is starting to go up, that's as good as cutting the line item. Second, we bring these drivers in on these delivery days, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Regardless of the deliveries, we have medicals, and our relationship with our drivers provides for a 4-hour minimum. So we are actually paying these drivers to be there, whether they deliver or not. We're not bringing them in just to deliver these meals. There's a reason to bring them in. There's a medical in the morning. There's a medical in the afternoon. They're squeezing these deliveries in between medicals and other appointments. And yes, there's an added cost of gas because we're doing these little short trips around town, but we only stay in town. We don't deliver to North Haven or Hamden or anywhere else. These are just Woodbridge residents. So there is the cost of delivery, but it's not as much as if we asked folks to come and pick up these meals. That would be a lot of running outside or running, to gather the meals because they're frozen. We'd have to get them together. We'd have to bring them out to each person as they picked up. That would be too much sorting for us. So the delivery option is really the best option for us. It's most efficient. I think Christy has really explained quite well the need for these meals. And it really is a different population than we saw in the in-house meals. We are reaching a much different group. And it's kind of like one of those, people try out a meal then they're talking to us on the phone, and then they say, oh, I saw you have an exercise class, or I saw you have other programming. I'm interested in that drive-through, or gee, how do I participate? It really does bring in a whole clientele to us. So I think continuing the meals is extremely important, even after, because we're reaching people who don't leave home. We're reaching people who, as Christy said, have caregivers or are out of the hospital and rehab. So really, it came to us because of necessity, but is a very worthwhile program for the residents of Woodbridge.
Is this something you anticipate will continue after the pandemic, given that there are shut-ins and people who are homebound? Okay.
Yeah, really, really, that's that. I think Christy was trying to make that point earlier, that this has been really an excellent program that we're continuing, even though some folks can get to the grocery store and some folks cook. It's just when something happens, to be able to open the freezer and have that meal there. We all have those times, and for seniors, it can mean not eating. You and I can, go make a bowl of cereal or something, scramble an egg, but just to put a meal in a microwave and have a well-balanced meal, or those pieces of fruit. It's real fruit. It's they get if they get 10 meals and they've ordered in a week, they have 10 pieces of fruit in the house. That's really helping their diets. It's may not say much about the rolls that they offer, but the fruit's really good.
Jeanette, can I add something to this?
Sure.
As you know, I've gotten the meals, and the reason that I started the meals was to try them out, because I like to know what we're doing for the seniors, as I'm a senior too, but I like to know exactly what they're getting. And I've continued ordering them, not all the time, but they are very, very good. And I can understand how some of the people that can't get out to the store, or they can't particularly afford a decent meal like that, appreciate it, because they are really good. And I would encourage other commission members to try some of this sometimes, because they'll realize exactly what it is.
Not for you young folks, though.
Oh, Jeanette, you know what, Jeanette, even the young folks, I feel it this way here too, like one senior in particular in the neighborhood, I bragged about it to them, and they'll be getting a meal, and by word of mouth.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it
obviously
really
a
is.
very, very worthwhile program.
It definitely is. And like I said, I can understand, I have a couple people in mind I know that do get it. And I think it's a great program. I really do. Plus,
So we need a motion.
I've enjoyed trying the meals.
Good, great. So if there are no other questions or discussion, I think we need a motion to comply with what Christy just asked us for. Would anybody like to, and then we need a motion to accept your report.
So moved.
So
So this would be a motion to raise the price of meals from $5 to $5.50.
$5.25.
$5.25, yeah.
$5.25.
$5.25 to $5.50. So I motion to raise the price of the meals for the seniors from $5.25 to $5.50.
It's from $5 to $5.25, and the soup from $1 to $1.50.
Oh, so the soup went up 50 cents.
Right.
Soup went up 50 cents, right.
So here we go again. So our motion.
Okay. Do you want, who is making the motion?
Jen.
Jen.
Jen?
Okay,
Okay.
perfect, Jen.
Okay. So making the motion for meals to go from $5.25 to, no, from $5 to $5.25.
$5.
Correct.
$5 to $5.25.
And the soup,
And the soup would go from
$1 to $1.50, right?
$1 to $1.50.
Okay, yes.
Second.
Do I have a second? Pat, okay. All right.
I might just
Well-
add, starting in January,
Yes.
beginning in January.
Okay. Okay, Pat, you second that, right? Okay. Roll call vote. Janet,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Arnie?
Yeah.
Viviana,
Yes.
Pat,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and myself, yes. Okay, the motion carries. And I also need a motion to accept, if there are no other questions about Christie's overall report, I need a motion to accept the Woodbridge Center report.
I'll make a motion to accept the November 2021 Woodbridge Center report.
Okay, Viviana, a second.
I'll second it.
Janet? Okay, roll call vote. Janet,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Arnie,
Yes.
Viviana,
Yes.
Pat,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and myself. Okay. Motion carries, yes. Chris, Nancy, would you give us the youth services report, please? You're muted. We can't hear you, Nancy. Can't hear you.
I'm sorry, thought I unmuted already.
Now we can. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, you really want to hear me? Okay. Toys for Kids. We have been collecting toys for the Toys for Kids program, which is run by Team Incorporated in Derby. So they do the collecting of the toys. They have also really encouraged, financial help this year, because what they decided to do was not have as many collection areas. That they've asked people to make financial donations, which they are still accepting. If you're interested and you want to go online, they do have a program with Walmart and I believe Melissa and Doug to try to get some discounted toys. They have a great need this year, and also, because they can't bring people together as easily, they didn't have as many actual toy donations. So we had some generous people donate some toys, and I think we were up to about 40 toys today. And we did have a driver come from Team today and pick up, and so I was really happy to see that we had some very nice donations here. And we'll continue to do it next year. All the applications had to be done online this year, so we didn't actually process applications in-house the way we normally do. We just emailed our clients and let them know that they had to apply online. The Shop with a Cop program through the Reach Foundation approved all of the applications for Woodbridge this year. So the police department made a few applications and I made 2 here. So that was $400 in gift cards to Target for the Shop for Cop program that came to Woodbridge this year, which is very nice. Santa visits with the fire department will be coming up next week. They will be going out. We have approximately 45 children that will be receiving toys through the fire department this year, which is up again this year. And they will be delivering toys December 13th and 14th. I hope to go at least one of those days. We have a paint party coming up at Amity Middle School on December 10th. So that's this week. And it's at 2:30 on Friday. 10th, this Friday. Cost is $20 per student. And we have instructor Samantha Woodruff, who has been also running programs, paint parties at the Teen Center, or which is now called 10 Selden. So we are working with her to supply paints and canvases, and she will do the instruction for kids. We will have it in the cafeteria at the middle school, and we'll also supply snacks for the kids. So we're hoping this is something new. We're going to do a winter scene, which is really pretty. They'll do like a little, little house and some just trees, and some snow. It should be fun. We're hoping it just is intriguing enough. Maybe we'll do something quarterly or for each season. I'd like to see the kids get involved, and we have different kids interested in this, so it should be nice. We Care kits. So last year we collected several We Care kits, mostly from the high school students, and we opened it up for the high school and the middle school students. We have delivery day this week on the 9th, or by appointment. So we do have a few coming in already. The middle school just got in touch with me. The student council there decided what they thought it would be more efficient if people, if they're making a trip to Costco, to just buy a large amount of items, and then the student council would like to put the We Care bags together. So they'll probably be working on that. I'll get back to them and we'll try to work out some of the details. I thought rather than just have everybody purchase just whatever they want, I would ask different teams to ask for certain items so that they can make complete bags instead of all tissues and nothing else. So I'm hoping that we can get a little variety there. So that should be fun. And, they're already starting to, decorate some bags. So that should be really nice for kids. And it also gives our high school kids a chance to earn volunteer hours. Their community service has been lacking a bit this year. So we try to offer community service wherever we can. And we do have a new Facebook account. Sarah Pearson, our new person, has got us up and running. And so she's developing that as she has time. Internet safety program is planned for the middle school on January 31st. So we're working on getting that contract in. And we did start working in town on the Chinese New Year celebration, which then we realized after meeting, and I was in touch with the teacher at the high school who runs not only the Chinese club she teaches, and she also runs the Chinese Honor Society. She was so excited, and the kids were so excited about getting involved in it. But because of the increase in COVID, we decided, or the town decided, to put it off until next year. But I still think maybe we can work with them to do something on a smaller scale. So I will be talking to her and we'll see if we can come up with some ideas. I'm sure the students have ideas and maybe they'll just do something within the high school to celebrate in some way, or bring something to, Beecher Road School or something. So we're working on that and we'll see what happens with that. And that's all I have right now. Any questions? I am working on the vaping presentation. I'm just waiting for the school to give us dates on that so we can move ahead with that.
Nancy, can you just tell everyone the name of the Facebook page so they can like it and follow it?
Yeah, I believe it's just Woodbridge Youth Services and then Woodbridge, Connecticut, because we have to distinguish ourselves from Woodbridge, Virginia, Woodbridge, New Jersey. But we can send that link out to everyone if that helps. That might be helpful.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be great if you like us.
Who are you trying to attract with the Facebook page? Are you trying to attract parents or students?
Both, I think. I mean, the parents get the notices, but their kids don't always see it. And some of the kids just asked us, how can they find all of our programs in one place? So this way, if we're just putting notices out, if they want to find us, it's an easier way for them to find us. I mean, we are also on the Town of Woodbridge webpage, but it takes a little bit of effort to find us. So I think if we send it out to all of the schools, all the parents, and put it in our newsletter, I think it will be easier for the kids to just sign on if they want to and just see what's happening, And sometimes the parents will say, oh, this is happening or that's happening, but they might not be able to find that newsletter, but they can go back and find it then if they look it up.
I'm thinking that you'll definitely, well, I can't say definitely, we'll have parents on Facebook, but more kids probably be on Instagram.
Yeah, they are mostly on Instagram and, well, Snapchat, you name it. It'll be something new tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, I don't even think the schools are tweeting as much as they used to. I think that's kind of gone by the wayside. So
But the
Instagram,
kids are definitely, like, I know Amity has their own, a bunch of the kids have their own Instagram stuff. So they're definitely up there that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll start working on that because I think
You're
Sarah's
making me
interested in
feel
getting
old. Stop it.
Yes,
I don't even
I
know
know.
Facebook, no less all the others.
Thank you, Arnie.
I have a sister who absolutely refuses to be on Facebook, and I'll say, oh, I saw your son posted a nice picture of his son, and she'll say, will you send it to me? I said, just get on. But people are still leery, and honestly, people do steal pictures and put them on their own Facebook and make it look like them. So I can understand some people are leery, mostly parents, but I don't know. I've connected with a lot of people from my grade school, my old neighborhood. It's just, to me, I enjoy it. I don't post a lot, but I like to see what other people are up to. So it's a nice way to connect. But you're right. I mean, mostly people our age, I find.
Okay, I will thank you, Nancy, for your
Thank you.
report. I will need a motion to accept Nancy's youth services report.
I will move that we accept
Arnie?
Nancy's services report.
And a second?
I can second.
Kathy? Okay. All right, roll call vote here. Janet,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Arnie,
Yes.
Viviana,
Yes.
Pat,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and myself, yes. Okay, motion carries. Next item would be Jeanette. Would you please give us your human services report?
Sure. So in the month of November, we did 2 vaccine booster shot clinics. We took care of most of the folks who had come last January, February as our olders to our first COVID vaccine clinics. The booster shots, they get a lot more out of a vial. So at the end of the clinic, there was a lot of extra, and I was able to get a bunch of town employees in to get their vaccines so that the vaccines weren't wasted. So that was great. And we did send a number of people through the vaccine booster clinics up in North Haven through QVHD. They're running them every Wednesday, just like they are in Milford, right, Jen? And so a lot of people were calling us, but it opened up so quickly and so much availability that if people weren't willing to go to North Haven or they couldn't go to North Haven, we found a lot of options for them and referrals here around town. They could go to Stop and Shop, they could go to Walgreens or CVS, and we were assisting people through that process. So a lot of boosters happening, and that's great. We want to have a town that's very much protected so we can get out of this red zone. It really, people are very sure about their being protected, and yet our numbers tell us that we're going up in positivity rates, and it really, even though the cases are more mild, it really affects the seniors so much. They're still at risk, and just the isolation alone for having to cancel programming is such a drag at this point. We're just getting them back. They're just, coming out, and to have to shut down it's a blow. Continually a blow to these folks, and they are not they're not doing well. Some of them aren't doing well. Some of them are fine. The holiday basket, we did the Thanksgiving basket distribution with the help of the Rotary Club and Bailey Moore Schaefer Glazer Proto. I said it wrong. Anyway, they helped with a big donation, and we were able to help 50 area residents. And now we're in the midst of the holiday basket program. We have just about 50 families. We took in donations on Thursday and Friday of baskets and gift cards. Ellen and I have sorted everything. Mostly Ellen does a remarkable job of keeping everyone straight. In the last few days, last week, we took in a donation from the Girl Scouts and Daisies, 800 pairs of socks. The Progression Salon also did a sock drive. We had Mr. Taddy, who any of you might know from Beach Road School and the Pool Club. He decided to give lessons to adults in swimming, and he collected their fees and donated it to the RAF. Just out of the blue, a lovely donation. There's a young woman, she's just a kid at Beach Road School. She has a nonprofit called Good Night Sleep Tight PJ program, and her name is Gabby Durso, and she arranged for pajamas for every one of the kids in these holiday baskets, families. So Ellen had to coordinate getting the sizes and we have PJs for all these kids. The Friends of the Library donated books for each kid per age group and likes and dislikes. They spent tons of time on this. So we have, I have a list this long. The Beecher Road School Community Council made cards for each of the families. And Bailey Moore, Schaefer, Glazer, and Proto gave gift cards for each of the families. We have just a myriad of community members putting these baskets together. This really is a community-wide effort, and it's gratifying. So I'll be writing a thank you for in January, letter to the editor. We'll put something in the paper to try and thank these folks. In the meantime, we're just really grateful. And tomorrow is our big day of distribution. I know Kathy's coming in and maybe Tim. And they're going to help. We have kids from the A school at Amity that Nancy's arranged to come in and help load the vehicles. And it really is, it's a whole department-wide effort.
Jeanette,
Yes.
oh, excuse me. I just wanted to mention they're called Spartan Academy.
Yes, Spartan Academy
wanna
now.
give
I
them some
did know
credit.
that, and I
Thank
was
you.
like, I said the wrong thing. Okay, thank you. Renovation update really quickly. Last week marked 3 months since the flood in the senior center, and it seemed like a good opportunity to push this question forward of when we are going to be able to start this renovation. Susan followed up with a phone call as well to try and push this agenda, and we've been lucky. The problem with the state and the funding has been solved, and I have a meeting with Tony Genovese and David Stein from Silver Petroselli to try and set a timetable and get the ball rolling for bid documents. We really would love to move forward. I can't tell you how much Christy would like to move forward. I can't tell you how difficult it is to run a center without a center. She does a remarkable job. But we are looking forward to next year having the place we've been dreaming about for years. So, a welcoming, lovely place for seniors to stay active. I think you all know that our feeling about this is a money saver for the town. The longer you can keep residents independent, healthy, and living in their own homes, single couples, elderly who don't have kids, the more the town saves money. Seniors are kind of cheap to keep in town, whereas young families moving into their houses cost us a lot of money. So the small investment in this place to make it lovely and welcoming and useful to our seniors is really a cost saving to all of us and our tax dollars. So that's the renovation update. More to come. I might, if I have an update on the 20th, might share that with you then. If I know a timeline, I'd be happy to add it to the agenda that night. Operating budget, we've talked about. Capital budget, we've not been invited for a capital budget presentation. We are going to be rolling in our capital budget with our operating budget. They've done that to us several years in a row. We don't have anything significant in our capital budget that needs a big presentation. So when we're aware of our operating budget presentation, which should be at the end of January or beginning of February, I will let all of you know. And I don't know, it's going to be virtual, so I don't know how many of you they'll let attend the meeting, but I think it'll be open to the public. So we'd love to know that you're there in support. The VITA program is coming back. I did add in the full press release so that you can see there's 4 ways to get your taxes done here. But I think the only one worth mentioning, because the other ways were sort of in effect last year, is the in-person option. We are going to get creative with our space usage. I'm actually in one of the spaces they used with clients before for my office. Because of COVID, we all separated out in different locations. Christy and Jess are in another space that would have been available to them, but because of the flood, they're using that space. We have the conference room, we have the computer room, and we're going to use an alcove in the hallway as another space, and have 3 very separated providers, and they will meet one-on-one with the clients using social distancing and masks. For those clients who can't do the online or drive-by options, there's 2 online options. One has a little more help than the other, and then there's the drive-by option where we scan documents and work with them in their cars. But I think it's, we planned this when we were in the gray and yellow, but I think as long as the providers are okay, I think we're still going to go through with it. It's a very worthy service to help folks who can't do this on their own. I think that's it for me.
Jeanette, one question. How many people actually utilize the Vita program?
It's somewhere between, I want to say, I don't know what last year's number was because of the drive-by option and because of the online option, but in the years we were in person, it was, in the 80s.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big program. We do, no, actually it was more than that. I'm sorry, I'm misremembering, because we do it from February through April, well, the middle of April. And then we take, then those who didn't get finished, we'll do them, and they'll get extensions, and we'll do that through even July with extensions. But, in the old days, we could do about 20 a day.
Great.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
it's a very big program, and a lot of towns shut down their programs. And so, people come from around to get this service. We have Woodbridge clients, but we also have Bethany clients, Seymour, other towns, New Haven. It's very helpful. A lot of people come from Westville, our neighbors.
Another point of pride, guys, right?
Yeah.
Really. If there are no other questions, then I need a motion to accept Jeanette's Human Services report.
So moved.
I so move that the report be accepted.
Okay, Kathy, a second.
I'll
I'll
second
second.
it.
Arnie, okay. I'm sorry, Jen. Both of you
Doesn't
talked. Okay, fine. All right.
I'll defer to Jen. It's
Okay, you
fine.
just heard
Jen.
Jen. All right, be Jen. All right. Roll call votes. Okay. Janet,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Arnie,
Yes.
Viviana,
Yes.
Pat,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and myself. Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Under old business, new business, I do not believe we have any old business, new business. And so therefore, the next thing would be the next meeting is January 4th. And please note that it's not the next meeting. The next meeting will be December 20th, but then our next regular HS meeting, HS Commission meeting is Tuesday, January 4th. Please note that it's Tuesday and not Monday, okay? That is it, except for a motion.
I'll
To
make a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Okay, and a second?
Second it.
Janet? Okay. Janet,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Arnie,
Yes.
Viviana,
Yes.
Pat,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and myself. Okay, meeting is adjourned. It always seems so abrupt and so impersonal that we don't But anyhow, we're doing the best we can, right, guys?
This is normally where we say, I hope everyone has a lovely holiday, but we'll see you on the 20th and we'll say it then.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
sounds good. Thank
night.
you.
Plenty of
Good night.
excitement.